Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing very well. My name is Marty and today we are here watching Titanic from 1953. This has been on my watch list since last year when we watched A Night to Remember from 1958. However, now with Titanic 1953, this predates that film. I went through all of the trivia and I then did a tribute at the very end. But yes, if you do like this film, then you can check out the full uncut reaction of me watching this alongside the blurred out film over on Patreon or as a YouTube member as well. Now, if you're not aware, this is, I think, the 5th film now that I have watched of Barbara Stanwyck. Because I have now seen Double Indemnity, Remember the Night, Christmas in Connecticut, The Strange Love of Martha Ivers, and I'm sure she's going to be amazing in this as well. Also, this stars Clifton Webb, which we have previously seen in Laura from 1944. Anyway, don't forget to stick around until afterwards when we go through the film's trivia and some of the extras as well. I'm also very interested to see that I know this predates A Night to Remember, but I'm wondering if this is any more accurate. But without further ado, this is Titanic from 1953. This is real ice caps breaking apart. That's a model, but very dramatic opening there. And very different as well, because it starts with film footage into the titles. Although didn't they do similar for The Ghost of Mrs. Muir? Film editor Louis Lufleur? Or was it Lewis? I mentioned the editor because I re-edit the films. All navigational details of this film are taken verbatim from the published reports. That is a lovely shot. Kind of haunting in the fog as well.
Happy maiden voyage.
Oh, my bluebell.
Have a look.
The woods of Windsor Castle.
Half of that stuff adds to the weight of the whole ship. Wow, the set. It's so similar to the real Titanic.
We'll have 2,200 aboard.
Rather thick weather inside the harbour.
This is inside the harbour still? I thought they'd set off.
However, the company won't present a record run on her maiden voyage.
Very good engine, sir. We'll use them.
Good luck. And I wish I could go with you.
Perhaps next time, sir. Benbecula, the Hebrides.
Interesting to hear Rule Britannia.
It flew from the mainmast of the old Star of Madagascar. It was a fine seaboat.
Shall we hoist it, sir?
She's not top issue nowadays, but up she goes.
Kind of haunting and a bad omen, having something on board from a previous ship.
Looks pretty good at that.
Tender is coming out from Sherbrooke, sir.
Mr. Sanderson will go show on the tender. Will you show him to the gangway?
Yes, sir.
Wow, look at that shot with the rear projection. There she is.
Julia!
Sandy, I thought you were in Viera. How much did you lose this time?
Well, these are borrowed trousers.
Where's that husband of yours?
He didn't come.
Maybe we can cause a scandal.
Brought the children.
What about your summer plans? I thought you were taking a house at Deauville.
I changed my mind. Annette, Norman.
She left the husband, maybe?
She means hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
She's testing out her French. Look at how well dressed they are.
I'll try to get a chair.
I'm not the first woman in the world who's going to have a baby.
As far as I'm concerned, you are.
Perhaps my suitcase would do.
Oh, that was nice of him.
Mr. Astor, my name's Earl Meeker.
The maid of Mrs. Widener.
I recognize him.
I think I saw them over there.
I'm looking for the Widener maid.
Well, don't look at me. I got so many maids, some of the maids are taking care of the maids.
Where do I know her from?
I just haven't got the kind of a face that goes with a bankroll. Flash my badge and blind a few people.
Very nice.
Name's Mort Young, Montana lead mine. Seasick?
Just like alcohol, I think.
No, it doesn't cure anything.
Oh, they're in France. Saw the sign that's in French.
I'm Richard Ward Sturgis. Get me the proper man. I want to arrange passage.
On the Titanic?
I have that in mind.
It's sold out since March.
I must be on that ship.
I'd like to help you, sir, but I'm sorry.
I feel like I know half of these actors from something and I don't know where.
Oh, pardon.
Love that they're all travelling as family.
You are Spanish? We are Basque.
We go to California for the good wine.
Oh, family
Now,
business.
you'll give me that ticket, and there's enough money here to buy 5 times as much land.
I don't think they're going to take that because they've worked hard for what they've got.
He can take the next boat and join you in a week or so.
It's the pride of it though as well.
How many years would it take you to buy 100 acres?
There is that.
I'll go into one of your tribal huddles and convince your wife.
Oh, okay. Just a little bit of racism there. I don't think he meant it that way, but...
Thank you.
Mr.
Uskudam.
Yeah.
Oh, so they are transporting guests to the ship, yeah. Because when I saw the ship, I was like, that doesn't look like it's near the harbour at all. But maybe because it's such a big ship, they couldn't get in near the harbour?
The one in the fur hat. Fine, boys. There's plenty to go around.
Are we going to get a bit of a Jack and Rose type situation with those two?
I'm the stewardess side of you, lady. Just call me Gift Rogers.
Oh, that look.
Shouldn't you be in school somewhere?
That look down her nose at him, though. I'm presuming models?
Drinks and draw for the first watch.
Keep it honest, keep it fair. Lucky Lightoller.
Same old story.
Lightoller.
First watch, first man with the ladies.
That's such a good, detailed model as well.
Slow ahead, all.
Slow ahead, Alter.
Pull ahead, all.
Pull ahead, Alter.
Full speed ahead from the
This one has so much more tension to it.
All right, Miss Lightoller. You may take her to sea.
I actually think that's really lovely, that area.
Hey, you can't come up here. This is for first class only.
I'll do my best to behave properly.
Not done.
You don't remember me, but I was on the Queen Alexandria.
Of course you were. Your name is Emma. You have a daughter who's married to a dentist in Plymouth. Could you tell me the number of Mrs. Sturgis' cabin, please?
It's a surprise.
Yes, it is. John, I'd like to borrow a shirt and use your razor. I left in a hurry.
Well, help yourself.
Such a hurry. Took someone else's ticket.
If you happen to see Julie in the dining room, I'd rather you didn't tell her I'm aboard. I'd like to tell her myself.
I did not think that was the dad. By the way, do you notice the set extension in the background? I like spotting that stuff, not to criticize it. Love film, so I love the making of films and how they make it look so good. So it's not spoiling it in my head for myself.
I said, what do you want him to do, Flap?
It's a really bad table. Not a person we know at this end of the room.
These tragedies happen sometimes in life.
Where's Mrs. Sturgis?
Look!
1892. Careful with this old fox. He has plans.
Father!
Norman.
How did you...
Oh, she is not going to like that.
Julia? I hope this doesn't upset your plans, Julia.
So why did he...
It's wonderful that you could get away after all.
I managed.
My family will be pleased that you're coming, too.
Can I send a message to Grandfather?
Might be a good idea. Run along.
See, the kids are really happy. She's not.
I wonder if you can get a wrap for your mother.
Yeah, why don't you be excused?
Something funny about you, Father. I've never seen you without a flower before.
No, there's just tension between your mother and I.
Finish your coffee, Julia, and walk around the deck while I tell you what I think of this performance of yours.
Yeah.
I'm in no hurry to finish my coffee and not too interested in your opinion.
If I hadn't phoned the house from Zurich, you'd have got away with it. Perhaps you'll explain now why you're kidnapping my children?
I'm not kidnapping them, Richard. I'm rescuing them.
From what?
Leaving him. I was right.
This family reunion story is a deliberate trick to get them away.
What's more, they're never going back. They're going to stop being rootless, purposeless, superficial hotel children.
What's wrong with hotels?
Oh, Richard, please try to see this sanely. For years, we've been galloping all over Europe to get them.
I do get what she means, that they need to settle down for the family. Or at least they need to, not so much him.
Look at Annette.
I have, with great pride. She has grace and style.
Like her mother.
She's an arrogant little prig.
So you've chosen to drag her back to the...
What? I mean, I did say she had a face on her earlier.
That's where she's going. To a big, ugly, pleasant house. She'll meet dozens of nice boys.
I have something better in mind from being tied down as some lumber salesman.
No one said about being tied down.
Marriages, and I've never seen a happy one.
Don't want to seem over-eager, but could we? Not tonight, Sandy. Thank you.
Can't.
Do you think Annette is going to be grateful to you?
In time. And as for Norman, I can only tell you this. There's not going to be a carriage waiting for him at 9 o'clock. From now on, he's going to walk to school.
I do really agree with her.
20 years ago, I made the mistake of thinking I could civilize a girl. I was wrong.
No, you made her see sense.
My share of regrets.
You've always been honest.
Now it's your time to be honest, though.
Where's Father?
Never mind, it's bedtime.
But I want to
Come
ask
on,
him
it's
about-
been a long day.
I set the wireless, sir.
You look so smart.
One game of checkers before we turn in?
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of half
No more
wondering
seagulls.
if maybe some of these sets were...
Take all the fish in the sea, there must be millions of them, but put a bird in the sky and you feel like old chum.
It's Irish.
This'll teach you what kind of a boat you're working on. Mr. James J. Hayes, Lady Duff Gordon, and Archibald Butts. The ship I was on before, all week.
What was that though? Got lots more butts, did you say?
Yes, sir?
A phone, please. To my brother. I am coming home. I think you should advise the family now that last week the authorities in Rome...
Authorities in Rome?
Let you go?
And then say,
Or he's just on the run?
I'll be back later.
Just the thought that they never made it back. No bar.
It doesn't open until 11:30. It's the rule on a British ship, sir.
It's like pubs. They don't open until after a certain time.
Cup of bouillon, sir?
He's not interested. Poor fella had no dinner, no breakfast. I've seen that look before. He's a runaway.
Some woman?
No.
From the police.
He's running too fast for that.
What's the commotion?
Stop and get your tickets for the anchor pool.
The anchor pool.
How do you play this?
Well, just draw a number. If it corresponds to the minute we drop anchor, you win.
Ah, okay. I've never heard of this game. Make entertainment out of it.
What's our lucky number, dear?
17.
They must have modelled the Jack character after this guy.
They're selling tickets on the anchor pool down there.
No, thank you. I'm not much of a gambler.
How about some soup?
Thank you. I just had some.
Well, this is for Purdue. It's a college out in Indiana.
Well, to answer your questions, her name is Annette. She's going on 18.
Yeah. Oh, she'll be all for it because she wants to get the daughter with a nice
If I could
guy.
have the deck chair next to her, she said she'd rather stand all the way to New York.
What's your name?
Giff Rogers. Gifford is a family name.
Give. Friendly with the mother.
Will she be at the dance tonight?
Oh, she likes music well enough.
Well, I better hurry and get my blue suit pressed.
Oh, it's still the same. Young men hurrying to get their blue suits pressed.
Not the only one that has a blue suit then.
Just, I bet I can count on you to put in a good word for me.
When I was 1 and 20, I heard a wise man say, give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free.
Where do I know that?
But I was 1 and 20. No use to talk to me.
1 and 20.
Well, that's pretty. But do you believe it?
I can't answer for myself. If I were a tennis player from Purdue, I wouldn't believe it. Not a single word.
I loved the style back then because this is kind of how I style now. With like the hat and the suit. Ah, there he is.
A fine, healthy bumpkin. Are you breaking ground for Annette?
You're up early.
Yes.
I had to scratch around for something to wear. Life can go on.
What an awkward time though to be stuck on the ship.
Oh dear, I thought you were a pot of coffee. What time is it?
11 o'clock. A brand new day that's never been touched.
I'm absolutely famished.
Your mother seems to have packed everything. Some of them will be a little out of place in Mackinac.
She's not told the kids.
As soon as we arrive, I think you ought to buy her some of those flat shoes. She'll need lots of things.
That'd be a waste of money for just a short visit.
Visit?
She's not told them. And he's trying to worm his way into their plans.
May I bone your kipper, mademoiselle?
Yes.
Face! May I bone your kipper? What was that?
Sitting under the finest crystal chandelier, Mr. Paderewski complaining about the draft. And at the end of the table, one young man next to an empty chair with a tear in his eye. What excuse did you give him, Annette?
I dropped them a note.
What note? Was I supposed to be somewhere?
It's perfectly all right if your mother explained it to them.
Just a note.
What's the difference? One party more or less.
Now, a luncheon at the Metanics is not exactly a wiener roast.
Was there some reason, Mother, I wasn't told I was invited to the Metanics?
She probably felt something might come of it.
Trust me, you'd be better off without going to the matinees.
Frank, I was afraid. He's an arrogant little toad.
He does look a little like a toad, but he's a highly eligible toad.
I don't think he looks in the least like a toad. And I see no reason why we couldn't have left a week later.
Wasn't a question of a week or 2 weeks.
I'm taking you home for good. I won't see an arranged marriage. I'm title to title all the rest of your life.
I 1000% agree. Let her be...
Do you approve of all this?
No.
I adore you. You know that.
Are you going to stay in Michigan for good?
Whoever plays the daughter, she's got such a...
Whenever you go, I go with you.
Defies her mother.
As for you, Mother, I love you very much. But my address is Paris, France.
Well, you've got the boy still.
Now you see why I wanted to steal a little more time.
Please, Julia, let's not bicker, since there's no love lost between us.
That's the tragic part, Richard. There's been so much love lost between us.
That was good. The writing in this is phenomenal.
The shuffleboard tournament. I entered us. You and me.
We're the team to beat.
Yeah, the little tit for tats, the spatting between them two, involved with the children as well. It works really well in this. But whoever plays the daughter, she's very much like Barbara Stanwyck, but she's got such an intense look to her eyes. I don't want to go on the wrong side of her.
What's this note? Binoculars.
Yes, sir, that's Murdoch's writing. We're shy on binoculars.
Yes, yeah, because wasn't it that he didn't have any to take up?
We've got just enough for the bridge.
The lookouts in the crow's nest are doing without.
I think that was a fact that I found out in A Night to Remember.
It's very nice material.
Yes, it's a beautiful suit.
I said it was nice material. Norman, it's time for us to pick up our ladies.
Yes, sir. Father, would it be all right if I ate in the cabin tonight?
Just call him Dad or Father properly.
I'd feel out of place.
There's something bothering you. What is it?
It's nothing, sir.
Is this what's worrying you?
Father, there are 2 other boys. They're an inch shorter than I am, and they have long trousers.
You've been growing behind my back. It seems you'll have to put in some more overtime. You're fitting, Mr. Sturgis.
Thank you, sir. Mother, could you help me with this nap, please?
Oh, it's so awkward.
Going to cross the entire ocean in polite silence?
Annette, I'd be very happy to chatter like a magpie if I could think of a single word to say.
Well, are we ready?
Yes, Angel.
Norman's at the tailor shop. Will you pick him up?
I don't want to walk into the dining room with him.
Then you can trail at a respectful distance. We'll all meet at the captain's table.
Yes, Angel.
Did she call him Angel?
We scream, we shout, we calm down. Things aren't so bad.
Things are never bad for you, Richard. You always win.
I don't regard this as a victory. It's an adjustment.
No, he just likes to win the situations. Makes him think he's more powerful.
You'd better know how things are going to be. I've given up on Annette. Her standards will always be the chic club, the best table.
Don't you dare swing my son.
But Norman is still a child. I'm not taking
Yeah.
any chances with him. He stays in America.
Yes.
What is this all about?
I'm not going to see Norman thrown away. He stays with me. And if you try to interfere, I'll be as common as you think I am. I'll fight you tooth and nail. I'll take you to the courts.
Could you be calm
Do
in a
it.
slightly lower voice?
No, do it loudly.
I'll say it in any tone you want. I'll whisper it. I'll write it down, but that's the way it's going to be. He stays with me.
You crazy woman.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the most important thing in my life. I have plans for Norman.
What plans? That he should grow up to be you?
Is this so extraordinary that I should want to have some portion of myself survive?
He'll still survive. Well,
For Norman, he stays with me.
I've been around enough bridge tables to recognize someone who is holding a high trump. Play it now, if you're going to.
We'll discuss it later.
is she with someone?
If it's about Norman, you know the answer. No power under heaven can force me to give up my son.
He is not your son.
Oh! A chill went down my spine. What? She didn't just say that to get at him, did she? Oh, that's so cold, though. I thought she was gonna say, like, oh, I've been seeing a guy or something. Not the son you thought you'd fathered and you wanted to, you know, give all of your air to isn't actually your son? That's gonna make dinner so much more awkward.
Excuse me, Mrs. Sturgis. There's someone looking for you. Some name like Ooskadoo.
Expect to belong in New York, Mrs. Esther?
Your mother thought you might be in the mood for dancing tonight. She and I got to be very good friends.
I'm afraid I forgot to mention you.
If Mr. Rogers would like a dance, I'd be delighted.
You would?
Yes. Oh, I hope she's changing.
We're going to have one dance.
Just one?
I was quite horrid to my mother today.
Be nicer to my mother, yeah.
If I can please her a little by dancing with you, I'd be delighted.
Okay. If you get a good omelet, who cares whether the chicken likes you or not?
Oh, you got a smile. Oh, the opulence. It's lovely.
I still say not right to sign this. I'm not head of family. You are...
Please, Mrs. Osgoodum, do me a favor and stop worrying. Yes.
What's he doing?
We're getting up a bridge game. You're a player from a way back.
Yes.
You need a top coat, Richard. It's grown cold.
Yes, it has.
It's because you're near icebergs.
Have I been the laughingstock of our friends all these years? Does everybody know?
No one except you and me.
Forgetting at least one other person?
Not even he. I never saw him again. There's no way for me to make it seem right. It happened after one of those endless rows, in the days before you made me over into your image.
One of the summers we had the beach house.
I'd left a party that night because I knew I'd cry if there was one more reference made to the dress I had chosen to wear. There was a young man skipping stones across the water. We began to talk.
And then one thing led to another.
Something admiring to me when I needed it most. Kissed him out of gratitude. You needn't trouble yourself as to who he was, except that he was a much nicer person than you or I.
Oh, that's such a blow for him. Oh, be a gentleman and pick the bag up, but
I think I understand.
he's like, you've already hurt me enough. You really expect me to pick up your bag?
From now on, Norman belongs to you. I shall make no claim. Both of you will be taken care of decently. But I don't want to see him or hear from him or be remembered by him.
Disowning him?
Is that really necessary?
I'm afraid it is. As you pointed out, Norman and I began as strangers. So be it.
But he looks up to you like a dad.
Oh, my poor Richard, how you hate me. Not because I committed an offense against common decency. Because Norman isn't an elegant extension of Richard Ward Sturgis.
Oh yeah, because he's not.
It is an inexcusable breach of etiquette.
Yeah, he's not blood related to him. The writing in this, there's layers to this. I like it. Dad, get plenty of shut-eye. Our next match, 10:30. Your teammate. No. And he called him Dad, not Sir or Father. I kept saying earlier, didn't I? No.
Good evening, Mr.
Oh, I'm on the verge of tears. It's so sad.
Whenever you feel like stopping, I can take over, sir.
Do you mind?
Sorry, I just got flashbacks to that Kipper line. Can I bone your Kipper? So funny.
You lonely star. Look around at the others. Answer up for the roll call. Have you ever noticed, my dear lady, that the stars are never late?
Always punctual.
I made you cry. Or wasn't it the stars? I'm drunk. I'm drunk and I'm helpful.
He seems like a really nice guy.
And you're very, very unique. Grammatical error. Your unique stands by itself.
Oh no, is he going to fall off?
Are you hurt?
If you would just be so kind as to point me toward the bar.
You're going to your cabin. What number?
To the room.
To the bar.
No, you're not. Where's the key to your cabin?
It's not every day I get to give a lady the key to my cabin.
I'll send in the ship's doctor.
No. Let him sleep. Spirits of ammonia over here.
I'll get it. Sit down.
He's a reverend. You know, it's making me think about
Take this.
everything.
Thank you for not mentioning my strange luggage. Priest. Or rather, I was until last week. My duties, my privileges as a servant of God were formally terminated. It was this.
Because of the drink.
You know why I started? Or at least the reason I gave myself. The priest in his slum parish knows all the sadness of the world. He needs support. True, young father has a bad cold.
One drink led to a few.
That's why I used to have those colds in the middle of July. Lots of them. I can hear the bishop's voice now. You prefer that stuff to your God? God and I knew better, but I couldn't stop because I had a private devil all my own. In Rome, they were very kind, but I was sacked and prayed for. How do you cover that in 10 words? To a family that loved you and sacrificed for you.
I did wonder what he was trying to say earlier with the, was it authorities he said or something?
You're not the only one who walks in trouble.
Perfect person to probably speak to about all these issues. So this is the other ship, the Baltic. SS Baltic.
Right, is that bridge game still going on in the lounge?
I don't think they're ever going to stop.
Steering south 71 west, speed 21 knots.
It is him. There was this, he was sat at the table earlier and I was like, is that Maureen O'Hara's brother? I've literally just finished editing The Quiet Man. I've just put it out on the channel. And this will be the next film reaction from that as well. I literally not ever seen him in a film before until that one. He's just staring at her constantly.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon us. Amen.
Amen. Except that piece is going to be short-lived.
Iceberg warning posted in the chart house.
Yes, I know. I put it there.
I just wondered about our speed, sir.
Takes us quite a bit south of the reported ice field. Our second officer, Mr. Lightola. He's worried about our ship.
Rightfully so.
But the wind never did us any harm.
All right, if I skip now, Mother. Big match coming up.
He's got so much, pep. He seems like such a good kid.
I believe that's your trick, wife.
Wait, are they still playing?
It's almost 10:30, Father. We should have a warm-up. This may be a tough match.
You'll have to find someone else, Norman. I'm busy.
He's been up all night.
Yes, sir.
That's enough for me.
Gambling all of his money.
I see no reason for stopping.
Father, if you're busy, maybe I can have the match postponed until
I
this
told you,
afternoon.
Norman, I'm not interested in the
Please don't say, I'm not your father or something.
He's certainly clouded up. Word'll do it faster than a hickory stick anytime.
Morning.
Hello?
Just happened to pass you by. See, this was very similar to, when she's walking along and she sees Jack in the modern one.
I wanted to tell you something about last night.
You danced with me 4 times. It's more than I figured on.
The way I walked off without saying anything. It wasn't very adult of me. I believe in being adult.
Kind of figured you were having a good time.
To be frank, I was.
So you left me standing right in the middle of the floor.
I didn't know what to do when the orchestra started playing that funny dance.
The Navajo rag? Where have you been? Locked up in some art gallery? Why, that's the hottest jig the kids do.
They seem to, well, shake automatically.
Dancing.
Come here, I'll show you how to do it. There's a dance they do on the reservation. You grab your squaw and drag.
They're like, he's hitting on her again.
Water rag, water rag. Hold. Shake your moccasins, tear my blanket, make her feathers fly.
Oh, he's perfect for her. The carefree one.
Well, me to that Navajo rag.
Going to be stared at. I think we should do this to real music. Whenever there's another dance, will you ask me?
I think, sir, you may have a date.
Bye, Giff.
Why?
You've just lost your hat. No. That was worth it, though. It was worth it. Were they pieces of ice passing by, or was that just foam? Because that felt like it was an ominous marking of where they are. He's been there that long. He's grown stubble.
Why do the British find it necessary to announce dinner as if it were a cavalry show?
I mean, we don't know.
Is the water still hot?
I just brought it, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go, for a shave. She sat in the dark. Oh, that was so creepy. I saw her out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, it's going to frighten him if he sees her.
Is it necessary to lurk in dark corners?
Yeah, I know.
I've come to ask you to have dinner with the children. What I really mean is to have dinner with Norman. Don't worry, you won't have to put up with me. I'll eat in the cabin. Don't take it out on him without any explanation.
Then give him the explanation.
Richard, you can't mean that. It's an issue between you and me. Norman adores you. You're the man he's loved since the moment he opened his eyes.
Shouldn't matter who his father is.
At least show him the courtesy you would show a head waiter.
You're asking me to do something which involves character. I am not a man of character.
No, you're a coward.
You're in my light, Julia.
So you're just going to throw away your children?
How long will it take to get to Boston?
Seems like when we get to New York, everybody's planning to have a party. Yes, sir, about 7 or 8 hours.
What time did this message come in? This morning we got an iceberg warning from the Baltic. Half an hour ago, this one from the Coronia was delivered.
Yes, that's right, sir. It came in at 7:40.
But it's dated April 12th, 2 days ago.
You're kidding.
We got it half an hour ago and sent it straight to the bridge.
2 days ago? The message they're talking about that they got 2 days ago, is that the one that the Baltic, that we saw them sending?
Well, what they say?
Fell up at the other end, sir.
Too late.
Where's your plot on that iceberg reported by the Baltic?
You should sight it about 8 in the morning.
It is him. Irish accent.
Here's another report from the Coronia. Plot it in, will you?
That would put it up here, sir.
But the Coronia report was filed 2 days ago.
There's a strong southerly drift. A large enough berg could have moved down there, almost where the Baltic sighted it. Do you want to alter course, sir?
What's the weather forecast?
Clear and calm.
Oh, I don't think so. Shouldn't be too hard to spot it in daylight.
If you make it till daylight.
The captain will be topside for the morning watch. Night order book as is.
By the way, I'm saying about the Irish accent.
We're going to stay at 22 knots.
At 30, we couldn't reach that berg before daylight.
I think he's meant to be putting on an American accent, but you can just hear him.
But what if these are 2 different icebergs?
Yeah. That's creepy. He's just gone. Reminds me of, you know, when the owner or the captain is sat just watching everything happen around him in the other versions. Oh, bless her.
Should be seeing gulls by morning. Birds of the Grand Banks fair filled with courage.
Young love.
What a lot of songs they know.
There must be hundreds more. 50 anyway.
Oh, I just noticed the little angel watching over the shoulder. Oh. She's warmed up. 11:36. Wasn't that the time that they hit the iceberg? Sure it is. Iceberg, dead ahead, sir.
Jesus Mary.
Iceberg! Dead ahead! Iceberg! Dead ahead, sir!
And far too close to turn around in.
Try to starboard, sir!
Or to divert around. Oh my god.
Helm's hard to starboard, sir.
Beautiful model, though.
Keep the helm hard over. We're going to clear.
No, you're not. I mean, you are there, but you're not on the other one. Yeah. Interesting, we don't see it, though. I love the way they did it in A Night to Remember, if you know. You see the ice crash onto the ship and everything. Yeah. Oh, God, it's still happening. There you go. Oh. The superimposed shot of the people. How did they do that with... back in those days? Did they just trap them in there? Engines cut.
It's over there.
That
It must have come close.
Very, very close.
Did we hit it?
No, sir. It hit us.
Yeah.
But the forepeak is flooded to the all-up deck.
Additional damage abaft to bulkhead B.
We're taking order number 5 and 6 boiler rooms.
Jeez.
Ripped us like a tin opener.
My heart is pounding 10 times a dozen.
Order all hands to station. Passengers and crew don life jackets. Prepare to lower away all boats. Stand by to send out a CQD to all vessels.
CQD, sir? That's full distress.
That's right. We struck an iceberg. We're going down.
Uh-huh.
And I want to know exactly what's happened.
There's been some underwater damage.
You can trust me, Captain. Is it critical?
With this cover.
Over here, mate.
Yes.
On the safe side, we're clearing away the boats.
Captain, I will not be put off. Is this ship going to sink?
She is. I'm ordering all women and children into the boats. As for the rest of us,
God help us all.
perhaps some vessel can get to us in time.
In other words, there aren't enough lifeboats for the men.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in one of the other depictions, is it modern? I'm sure there's the line of, God help us all, when he says that.
All passengers put on life jackets. There is no cause for alarm.
Please proceed to your cabins immediately.
Baffles me that they never told them anything other than, put your life jackets on.
Our deck by the after ladder.
We ran into an iceberg and none of us even saw it. Isn't that the biggest cheat?
That was a really good shot with the window.
Please relax. I've talked to the captain. There was a collision of sorts.
Yeah.
The steamship company evidently felt we needed something to break the monotony.
Is there any danger?
Danger?
No.
On a ship like this? Oh, nonsense. However, we have to follow instructions.
Again, putting authority out there.
Get the other jackets. Maybe chilly in the lifeboats.
Lifeboats? And you say there's no danger?
You don't understand the corporate mind. Steamship companies serve the public. To prove they're on the job, they like to inconvenience people. We're assigned a number 6 lifeboat.
The 6.
Naomi, you better take these.
Father,
Don't, please don't.
haven't you forgotten something too?
No, I haven't.
You're riding the greatest ship that was ever built, and 3 days out, somebody pokes a hole in it. Don't you walk out on me. I was just getting some good cards.
Don't worry, Mrs. Young. When we get back, the cars will still be warm.
This is so oddly terrifying, this film. I know the real thing was, but in comparison to what...
Crew on its way up. Keep your people together.
Any way I can help, sir?
See that this passage is kept clear. Are all your people with you?
On second thought, I have some stragglers. I'll be back shortly.
You can't leave us now.
They say it's nothing, but they're lying. There's water below. And now somebody says there aren't enough lifeboats for the men.
Yep, that's because there's no... Terrifying.
Come on. Can't you get some order here?
They don't want to go, sir. We can't make them understand.
Are they the...
I am at the moment the head of this family. Now, get up.
She's the lady, isn't she? Yeah. She's the lady that signed as well with the wine business.
I don't think it's so serious. We'll get help.
I think so too.
I'll bet there are practically 7 or 8 ships coming right now.
Good to have hope.
You get to New York first. Would you mind calling a poem for me? Just Jackie. That's my kid's sister. You could tell her I didn't win any medal, but that I bought her a pocketbook instead.
You'll be there to tell her gift. You're just as apt to be there before me.
But even if not, there's one thing I want you to know.
I love you.
But I wouldn't have missed this boat. Not for anything.
I've cried.
Every room here for 4 more?
I think so, sir. Are they assigned to this boat?
They are now. Go ahead, Mrs.
My God, he did a good deed.
Bon voyage, madam, my dear.
Bless you, Richard.
Finally, at the end of everything, he's turning. Also, the fact that he did that before his own...
They're loading your lifeboat. I better go to my own. It's on the other side.
It'll be a long walk, Richard. Thank you for lying. I know you're trying to make it easy for us.
This way is easier for me, too.
Oh, Richard, where did we miss out on each other? I put you down as a useless man.
It was my major talent.
I'm sorry. Sorry about everything.
We have no time to catalog our regrets. All we can do is pretend 20 years didn't happen. It's June again. You're walking under some elm trees.
Was that how they first met?
The loveliest creature I ever laid eyes on. I pledge my eternal devotion. I would consider it a great favor, Julia, if you would accept a restatement of that pledge.
God.
Oh.
Please, madam.
I mean, right before they...
Shouldn't I wait and go on the boat with you?
The officer put you here, didn't he? A good soldier obeys orders. You look fat and funny in those life jackets. Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Trying to bring up the mood a little bit.
Everybody, and keep together.
Oh, God.
We need your help further aft.
Thankfully, the orchestra hasn't started playing yet. That just gets me every single time. What are you doing? I don't feel like he's being a coward and... Quick note, I took a break a second ago. Turns out it's not James O'Hara. It's Charles B. Fitzsimmons. It's Maureen O'Hara's other brother. But what are the chances still?
I'm sorry, ma'am. She's loaded. Though there may be another boat forward, there's no room in this.
No, is he gonna get off to let her on?
Here's his face.
No. They've not seen.
No,
No.
Where's Norman?
He gave a woman up front his seat.
The one. The whole time, she wanted to change Norman, to get Norman out of that life.
We'll never do it this way.
Oh, God, be careful. Don't fall. Oh no! Oh no! No! Please tell me he gets on the boat and he's okay. This film is so traumatizing.
From the Carpathia, sir. We are coming at full speed.
Hours out, aren't they?
Give me that position again.
No, they didn't even send his telegram.
Have Mr. Lightoller pass the word to the lifeboats. They'll be picked up by dawn.
Oh, that's haunting. Yeah, because Carpathia is way too many hours out to save them. Look at that. How did they do that? Did they have... Was that rear projected, or was that a model in the background of that?
You still keep up steam? We need power for the Marconi instrument. And I want to keep the lights burning as long as possible. If there's a ship coming, she has to see us. I presume you know you may not make it out of here. That's the way of it sometimes.
Also interesting, in this version, they're still working on putting coal or whatever is into the engine. Whereas in the newer versions, that's all been sunk already. Oh, I've just realised, is she supposed to be, what's her name?
I see you made it, Mr. Mika.
You coward. Yeah, he's that guy, the one that slowly creeps onto the boat in the other one. Yes. And yeah, I think she's supposed to be like, you know, the lady I'm on about, the one with the attitude. Oh, there is gloves. Oh.
My little boy.
You know, Mr. Sturgis, have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this is awful.
Number 7.
And he's there thinking they're out there safe.
Fasten your life jacket, please, man.
The boy could get on that though.
Number 3 boiler room flooded.
Yeah, so that's Charles B. Fitzsimmons, just so you know.
We're finished when the water hits the main boilers.
There you go.
Order all hands up from below. Their duty's done.
Yes, sir.
You sent for us, sir?
Yes. Mr. McDermott, I think it might help if you'd play.
No.
London Derriere.
No, this is the bit. Oh, God, it's... That really is haunting. I've said it so many times, but...
Please sit down the moment you get in the boat. All right, Mrs. Strauss.
No.
Are they the two are they going to stay together?
I'm a very old lady. I've been with Mr. Strauss most of my life. I will not leave him now.
Are they the two that died together? Because apparently that was what you guys told me. That was based on a real event that happened. was so close to the... However they did that with the model outside.
Don't go in there, sir. Portman's about to go. Are there men in there? A few? For God's sake, mister, don't go in there.
For God's sake, I am going in.
Well, he just died. Oh no.
What are you doing here?
I was afraid I couldn't find you, sir.
It won't do any good to jump. The water's near freezing.
Yeah, the vicar's saying, for God's sake. Being a vicar, he's for God's sake.
This boy's still aboard. Where are they loading?
Sorry, sir. All the lifeboats have gone.
I didn't count on this.
All of the other men were staying. I thought perhaps I should too. I'm wearing long trousers, sir.
Bless him.
I guess long trousers are enough to prove you're a man.
You're sore at me for coming back, aren't you, sir?
Yes, I'm sore at you. The way I've always been sore at those fool drummer boys who stayed on to play last retreat.
I thought maybe we could make a swim of it together.
Well,
he's such a good kid, bless him.
Whatever happens, I love you very much. I've been proud of you every day of your life. Never as much as at this moment.
Knowing what we know as well.
I feel tall as a mountain.
And how much he's changed. Like how this switched around.
So we're far looking for you, sir. Yes, Harry, I found him. He's my son.
And they said that as well. Oh my god, this film is just gonna tear me apart.
We're finished, mate.
You'll make the last entry in the log and secure.
All niceties aside, we're finished, mate.
At this hour, all wireless communication broken off, all lifeboats manned and lowered away, this vessel sinking hard by the bow.
Dear my God to thee. I believe it's... that was played on the Titanic. Sorry, I'm crying so much. With the lower quality footage there, I wondered if it was from something else. Oh god, look at that. Oh god. That stuff was so much different to in the other versions that I've seen. Made it more horrific. That's just going down. That's it, gone. It's terrifying.
Thus, on April the 15th, 1912, at 0220 hours, as the passengers and crew sang a Welsh hymn, RMS Titanic passed from the British Registry.
Not that quick, though.
712 people in 19 lifeboats survived.
I swear that film was sent to try me. That was heart-wrenching. And I'm crying again. So much more terrifying. And when I say terrifying, I don't mean scary. I mean terrifying, like that that happened, not that level of it. Because now they know that the newer versions of this were more true. I mean, that's probably how it felt to the people there, though, that suddenly there was just horrific things just happening around them. So in the newer versions, obviously, we've got, and again, I don't know the specific orders of it, knowing that some of it was taken from real facts. This one says it was taken from real facts, but the other ones do as well. But bear in mind, I think over the time, I think more has been known and more has been found out about the events that surpassed and accounts that were either from surviving members or from entries in books, whether that's logbooks or diary entries. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that they had all these like official details of how things went on the ship. I think the bit that just really struck me hard with that, obviously you've got the father storyline with the son. That was sad enough as it was, but then you had the priest, like the priest had succumbed to the drink and been let go by the church. But right at the very end of his life, he decided he wanted to try to save people's lives for God's sake, was what he was saying. And then he goes to do it. It just blows up. I don't know what it was about this film, but this feels so much more hard-hitting than the others. I'm still crying now, and this has got to be, like 10 minutes after watching it. There's so many good moments in that. I don't know what it was. You know when you see a horror film and suddenly something happens, like, and it's just so hard to comprehend. That's how that felt to me with that ending bit with the ship going down, with the explosions just suddenly hitting right near the main characters that we've known and that we've grown to know who they are and about their family, and him finally accepting him as a son. Like, now that he's known all of this stuff about cheating on him and him not actually being his son, but him taking him in as his son despite all of that was just horrific. That they then died straight after that. The bit where the explosion goes off and then the ship just sinks so quickly. Look, we know the ship did go down slower, at least from what I remember from real facts. I'm kind of glad that if things were to have gone down like this, no matter how horrific it was, at least it would have been over quicker for them.
We go to a stock shot of icebergs breaking away from a glacier or whatever in Alaska, I presume.
This is real ice caps.
Then the next several shots are 20th Century Fox's own iceberg. They would be made of plaster and popping up from the bottom of the tank at Fox lot on the back lot.
Breaking apart. That's a model. But first scene where I assumed that they were going to be in the harbour. I knew that they'd set off from a British harbour, but then when we had the French bit, it confused me for a second. But obviously that's because he was working away and he wasn't getting on the same place where they had got on.
The route for this maiden voyage took her to Cherbourg and Queenstown, where she took on emigrants bound for the New World. Among her passengers were many of the wealthy and influential, with, according to one calculation, combined assets of £120 million.
But considering I didn't know that he was meant to be the partner, I thought he was going to be some other random character that was in it. Obviously we knew that it was Clifton Webb, but I didn't think he was going to be the husband. I thought he was just some other guy.
The tank also could be used for full-scale live-action kinds of settings. If you built the side of a ship in the tank, you could have people row up to the ship. You had a backing in the background. It looked like they were on the high seas. You could do all kinds of things in the tank that required water, but it has to match to all of the tank stage of the side of the ship and all this sort of thing.
I think one of the most heartbreaking things as well with that ending is that not only did Barbara Stanwyck's character really wanted to have the boy grow up with like a normal life and not this very posh life that he had wanted, and so she'd wanted to take him away from everything. This utter tragedy happens. I kept thinking that people looked like people I had seen before in something. Like I felt like I knew the majority of the people in this. James O'Hara is in this. The other Irish guy who I made mention of, I was like, oh, he's Irish. For some reason, I don't know why, but Charles B. Fitzsimmons, right? He has such a memorable face to me, but James O'Hara does not. If you don't know, by the way, both of these two are Maureen O'Hara's brothers. So one of them, so James O'Hara, I kept saying, oh, that's James O'Hara, when I was actually talking about Fitzsimmons. But O'Hara, Devlin, the lookout, I think he's the guy that eventually calls in about the iceberg. That's crazy, though. And there was me accidentally saying, oh, James O'Hara. No, the other brother.
Now here's a shot of the Titanic on the miniature in the tank. This was probably done, looks like an overcast day and a little fog coming in and a little close-up of the miniature. The long shots of the Titanic were all shot in a tank at Fox on the back lot. All the studios had tanks of varying sizes. Some were indoor tanks, some were outdoor tanks. The Fox tank was slightly under 200 feet wide and it was 300 feet long. The Fox tank was called the Surson tank, named after Fred Surson, who was the head special effects man at Fox for many, many years. He was followed by Ray Kellogg, who headed the special effects department at Fox, and the credit on this film is Ray Kellogg, so by that time Fred Surson had left. In each of these tanks, there was a center well. The sides of the tank were approximately 4 to 5 feet high. 3 sides were. The back side of the tank was lower than the other 3 sides of the tank. So the back edge of the tank had a dam across it. So it was lower than the other three sides of the tank. So the water would be filled up into the tank, and the water would flow over the back dam continuously. They call this a knife edge weir. A dam in a small stream or something like that is called a weir. And the reason for this is that if you looked from the front position, the weir would be on the back of the tank next to the sky backing. The camera would be on the exact opposite side from the weir, and it would shoot toward the weir and the sky backing. And from the camera angle, the water flowing over the back of the weir, where you saw no obstruction, would give the impression that the water flowed into infinity. And you could not see any demarcation between the back end of the tank and the sky backing. Approximately 30 feet separated the weir from the backing, and so there was room in there for the water to flow down and be pumped through, and there was also room for the scaffolding that would be used for painting the backing.
The lady that I'm remembering from the other two. Oh, her name's Maud in this. Real name is Thelma Ritter. She's in Rear Window. I've seen Rear Window off the channel. I saw it years ago. Was she in something Strangers on a Train, maybe? That's it! Miracle on 34th Street. She stars as Peter's mother. That was what I recognised her from. Not Rear Window, I recognised her from Miracle on 34th Street. How weird is it then? What's the link? This woman starred alongside Maureen O'Hara in Miracle on 34th Street, and both of those two other guys are Maureen O'Hara's real-life brothers, who both also star in The Quiet Man from 1952, for which the film reaction of that came out last week. And I literally put the video out on the channel 6 hours ago and finished the alterations to it about 12 hours ago. It's crazy to me.
This is a miniature shot in the tank, and then part of the footage that they took on this day was used as a process shot, used behind the actors on a screen, and they look at the process screen.
Oh, by the way, the line of the kippers was hilarious. The bit was it, "Can I bone your kippers?"
May I bone your kipper, mademoiselle?
Yes, Angel.
It was the look that Barbara Stanwyck gave him, though. I don't know if that was a true look or if that was just acting, but it was so funny.
Hello, I'm Audrey Dalton, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I remember about shooting Titanic. My first day of shooting was my first scene in the picture where they're arriving on the boat. Still remember from that very first scene with Barbara Stanwyck. And my very first lines were in French, which terrified me at the time because I knew a little French, but I certainly didn't expect my first lines in a movie to be French. The role, she was a very, very put-together young woman and very sure of herself. Sandy, quel plaisir de vous voir ici.
Sandy, quel plaisir de vous voir ici.
And, you know, the clipped English-Irish accent, it helped because we had spent time in England and we were returning to the United States in this story. I was born and grew up in Dublin, moved to London with my family.
During the boarding of the lifeboats, Norman Sturgis, Harper Carter, changes seats with a woman who arrives at the last moment when the boat was completely full. Yes, this was inspired by the action of a Mexican passenger in first class named Manuel Urichurtu, who did the same thing to a woman in second class who was refused a seat on the lifeboat. After he gave up his seat to her, he asked her to travel to Mexico if she survived and tell his wife what happened. His body was never found. No. Reminded me so much of in the scene when the boyfriend also says, what does he say, like, call up my sister and tell her.
Get to New York first. Would you mind calling a poem for me?
Yeah, the filming of the disaster had a powerful effect on Barbara Stanwyck there. But yeah, like what happened to me. She recalled the night we were making the scene of the dying ship in the outdoor tank at 20th. There we go. It was a ship in an outdoor tank. Because the reason I was thinking at one point, I thought, well, maybe it's a real ship. Not a real ship, like big ship, but maybe it's a still somewhat of a model, but it's a bigger, like a much bigger model, is because some of the further shots away from the camera, you know, when something is a model, the waves that are crashing up against the side of it look big in comparison. Well, this model had very small waves. That reminded me of that just as I was reading this. She said, the night we were making the scene of the dying ship in the outdoor tank at 20th, It was bitter cold. I was 47 feet up in the air in a lifeboat swinging on the davits. The water below was agitated into a heavy, rolling mess, and it was thick with other lifeboats full of women and children. I looked down and thought, if one of these ropes snaps now, it's goodbye for you. Then I looked up at the faces lined along the rail, those left behind to die with the ship. I thought of the men and women who had been through this thing in their lifetime. We were recreating an actual tragedy, and I burst into tears. I shook with great racking sobs and couldn't stop. That's heartbreaking. Audrey Dalton commented that Barbara Stanwyck was very good to her, highlighting how Stanwyck helped her in a scene where the two of the men walked out of the dining room in a long shot. Stanwyck was very thin, while Dalton was fuller in the hips, and their contrasting figures looked awkward in the shot. So Stanwyck worked out with the director where she would extend her arm around Dalton's shoulder as they walked away, hiding Dalton's backside behind Stanwyck's gown. Barbara Stanwyck and Bert Stevens, who plays one of the passengers, were real-life sister and brother? What is it with these films? They got such links to families. I didn't even know she had a brother. Potentially more. Let's quickly look. Okay, so she does have multiple siblings. There was one shot in there where the guys are running away from the water rushing in. And I'm presuming it was filmed very much how they did, in A Night to Remember. When all the water's flooding onto the boat. A set all blacked out or something similar to that to create like a matte layer, and then they have them cut out onto this backdrop, or maybe frame by frame they've cut them out and put them onto this backdrop. In fact, with how dodgy the outlines are on them, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was, or if maybe they tried to remove the black with the normal process, but it just turns out it didn't work. We were talking about authenticity and whether or not, how much of this was true to life. I know there was that title card at the beginning, but I think I even said in A Night to Remember that this film wasn't as accurate as that one was. So I presumed that some of it could have been inaccurate. Well, apparently, to ensure authenticity, at least of this time, the producers recruited a former captain of the Queen Elizabeth as a technical consultant, and no background music was played during the feature film. The only music heard was that of the musicians aboard the ship.
When they set about to make this movie, the information they had was pretty sketchy, and it's mostly based on the two inquiries. Both inquiries happened so rapidly. I mean, the U.S. Senate inquiry, I think, started 2 or 3 days after they landed in New York. These people are still in tremendous state of shock. No one had time to reflect. No one had time to even jot down notes. And they were both brief. Even the questions were all wrong. Like years later, somebody would say, but they never asked me that.
I wondered if some of these sets were maybe reused. Apparently, many of the sets, including the ship model, which I thought was incredibly strange because it's the Titanic, you can't get around it being the Titanic. Anyway, including the ship model, were reused for several other films after this, such as Dangerous Crossing 1953. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes used the ship model, but it was remodified. You'd have to do some major remodeling work. A Blueprint for Murder 1953 used the ship model again, the remodified version. Then finally in Women's World 1954, which also starred Clifton Webb. What are the chances? The ship model is displayed at the Marine Museum in Fall River, Massachusetts. Yes, I was right about Thelma Ritter, her character being like the woman I thought was Maggie or something. The character Maud Young portrayed in this motion picture by Thelma Ritter was obviously based upon Mrs. J.J. Unsinkable Molly. That was it. Brown of Denver, Colorado. Yeah, this says even though the actual names of some of the other passengers were used in the film, Mrs. Brown's name was not. It has been suggested that there was some disputes between 20th Century Fox and the Brown estate over the use of Molly Brown's character. That's interesting then that they did then use her name. I think they used the name anyway in the 1958 one. Therefore, Molly Brown of the Denver, Colorado gold silver mining fortune became, for this motion picture, Maud Young of Montana lead mining.
Now, all these miniatures are floatable. The lifeboats in the foreground are mechanized. Then there are some other lifeboats in the background that seem to be sitting in there without much movement in them, also with some passengers in, but look to be a slightly different scale. Sometimes in a scene, remember we only have 300 feet of shooting distance from camera to backing, so to give a depth of infinity, some of the things toward the backing are smaller scale than the things at the front of the scene next to the camera, so that it seems to increase the apparent distance between the two, because they're different sizes. The ones in the foreground were approximately 40 1/2 inches long. The beam of those was 12 inches. So the scale of the lifeboats was approximately 1/4 full scale. They're fairly small, so you'd have to, in those days, have some good-sized batteries to operate this, I would think. Maybe electrically from cables underneath. The oars move, and the people appear to be moving around in the boats. You can't tell exactly what they're doing, but there just seems to be movement in the two primary lifeboats. There's several shots in the rowboat in which members of the rowboat look back at the Titanic sinking. And these are all done in process shots.
Oh, that's what she reads. The poem that Julius Sturgis, Barbara Stanwyck, recites to Gifford Rogers, Robert Wagner. Wait, Robert Wagner? Where have I seen Robert Wagner before? How did I not even recognise him? I mean, he's so much younger in this. Yeah, the poem was When I Was 1 and 20 by A.E. Housman from the book A Shropshire Lad. I've heard of that. And I love that in that moment that he was trying to become friendly with the girl he likes' mother to try and get in her good books and try and like weasel his way into knowing her, which was a really lovely thing to do because back then that was a very respectable thing to do, to befriend the mother or father of the person that you really like. Except usually what it is if you're with that person, then you befriend the mother or the father, because it shows the level of respect there that you've got for them and for their daughter or son. Editing Marty here. Fun fact, I found out, thank you so much to the people that have mentioned this to me just in passing, which I've then looked into more. Apparently, Robert Wagner had a bit of a romance with Barbara Stanwyck. In his book Pieces of My Heart, he mentions about it, and there's an interview done that was sponsored by Sun Up Rotary and held at the Camelot Theatre in Palm Springs, where he's promoting his new book, and they ask him the question, and he talks a little bit about it. So here's the clip.
It was one of the best relationships you could ever imagine, and I was so lucky to have Barbara in my life, and I was cast in a picture called Titanic, and she was the star with Clifton Webb, and we looked at each other, and it kind of started, you know, and we fell in love, and I was with her for almost 4 years, and it was such a special relationship for me because here she was, this wonderful actress and this great star, and she took interest in me and she loved me, and it was a wonderful time in my life. If that relationship would have happened today, it would have been accepted. But in 1952, that wasn't even heard of, an older woman in love with a younger man and vice versa, you know.
Would the studio have come down on you had they known about it, or did they know about it?
What is that?
Would the studio that you worked for at the time been angry at you for that?
And they might have taken a position about it. I'm pretty sure they, I don't know whether they knew about it or not. You know, Barbara was a very private lady and she didn't go out a great deal. And we were able, the people that did know about it were very respectful and kept it very much under wraps. And she was a wonderful woman. She was so kind and so loving and so generous. And it was a wonderful experience for me as a young man to have a lady like that in my life, and she gave me a lot. And I'll never forget it. Actually, and that's how the title of the book came about, was I was reading, I got the manuscript back from Scott, and I was reading the section on Barbara to Jill and to her girlfriend, Nikki Haskell, and Nikki, I couldn't finish it. I started to get overwhelmed by the piece, and I asked Jill to finish it, and Nikki said, gee, it must be so difficult to write a book and go back and bring up all of those experiences. And I said, yes, it is. At times it does take pieces of your heart. And that's how I got the title.
Again, there's probably more on this. I just wanted to bring you this tad bit of info. He's a very lucky guy. Also, fun fact, did you know that Robert Wagner was Natalie Wood's first husband? They married in 1957, which is weirdly yet another link to Miracle on 34th Street, but it's so strange thinking of how old Natalie Wood is in Miracle on 34th Street. Anyway, back to the video.
Hello, this is Robert Wagner. This was a big film for me. I had done a few pictures that were quite good for me, but this was a break to work with. This particular scene right here was very special to me because it was with Barbara Stanwyck, and I sat down and I fell madly in love with her right there and there. That was a scene I will never forget. And she was so nice to me and so wonderful. This poem that she read, this actually took place apparently, with all of these pictures, when they were laid out, the production department knew exactly how long it was going to take, when it was going to begin, when it was going to finish, and they very rarely ever went over schedule. There was no overtime at this time. There wasn't that much of a union injection in the business. When they laid out a picture and they said it was going to take 50 days to shoot, it took 50 days and that was it. I gotta say, I never thought I'd be sitting in a studio like this looking at a DVD. When we did these films, we never thought that any of this was going to happen. We were just doing our work, doing the best we could, and letting it fall where it fell. This all looks so real, in black and white, and with the effects that were put in, all of the sound and all of that made it all very credible.
For decades after this film's release, 20th Century Fox licensed outtakes from the sequence depicting the ship sinking as stock footage. Head and tail trim from this footage clarifies that it wasn't just the Titanic itself that was portrayed by a scale model. Oh, yeah, so this is similar to what they did in A Night to Remember, because in A Night to Remember they had the scale model and then they had these tiny little boats around it. Obviously, because it was a model ship, you've got to have the tiny model boats to go along with it. The lifeboats in the foreground were miniatures as well, dwarfed by film technicians wearing waders, who moved them back into position between takes. One of the sinking outtakes can be seen in the documentary film Secrets of the Titanic from 1986. In which it is played after some clips from the E.A. Dupont film Atlantic from 1929.
Let's talk a little bit about the miniatures now. The early sequences of the film are primarily shot in daytime. The ship leaves the harbor in a fog bank. They've rolled in the fog machines and shot in front of the backing. Then the ship goes on to the high seas. Then there's some scenes that you still see the clouds in the sky in the background, and the ship goes by, and you see lights now on the ship. These scenes are probably done at magic hour, which is the time when the sun has gone down, so there's no actual sunlight hitting the miniature or the tank, but the light of the sky is still reflected in the water and the ship and on the backing. In shooting miniature sequences, you need a great depth of field, so everything is in focus from the foreground to the back. Otherwise, it gives it away that it's a smaller than reality. The way they achieved the depth of field in these miniature shots, several ways. They used wider lenses, which gave you a sharper depth of field. They normally shot miniatures, even nighttime miniatures, in daytime. But they would use neutral density filters on the camera. They would underexpose slightly to give the impression of darkness. They would put lights on board the miniature ships to give the impression of lights at night. Sometimes they would take tinfoil and attach it to the backing, put a little wind machine on the backing. Because it would capture the light of the sun, it would give the impression of stars twinkling. In this particular picture, in the end sequence, all the Titanic shots seem to be done at night in the tank, which is unusual. Also, part of the problem with shooting miniatures is that you have to shoot at higher speeds to give weight to the miniatures because they are smaller than the real thing, so they do not move at the same speed as a large thing would move. So you have to shoot them at higher speeds in order to slow them down on the screen. In other words, slow motion. Water and fire are a problem in miniatures. They cannot be scaled down. You cannot scale them down. And so the big giveaway in many miniatures is the size of the water droplets and all this sort of thing. So the ideal is to build the miniatures as large as you can within reason so that the water looks more in scale with the miniatures. Most of the time that's not possible. So you just have to engineer the shooting of it very carefully. One of the things they did learn was that if you would add a chemical wetting agent to the water, Usually it was a chemical called aerosol. It would relax the surface tension of the water, and it would make the water appear more natural and more in scale with the miniatures when you'd have waves occur and little breaking moments of waves.
Michael Rennie has an uncredited voiceover as the end narrator of the film in the last scene, in which the Titanic sinks. Michael Rennie, where do I know that name? The guy from The Day the Earth Stood Still. If you guys don't know, I watched that on the channel, not long ago in fact. Michael Rennie would later guest star as Captain Smith of the Titanic, I did not know this, in the premiere episode of Irwin Allen's television series The Time Tunnel. Yes, I've seen a couple of episodes of The Time Tunnel. Yeah, apparently the episode he was in is called Rendezvous with Yesterday, which also used some footage and sets from this film. Oh, that's such a wonderful little connection. Apparently that episode aired September the 9th, 1966.
This ship is the Titanic.
Is that what you had to tell me?
It was a very depressing set. I was in the lifeboat with Barbara Stanwyck, and Barbara had the most incredible talent for weeping on demand. It was terrific. It was sort of pause, take a breath. Okay, Barbara, turn on the spigots. And she could weep. And I mean, the tears would flow out of her eyes. It was wonderful. I spent all of my acting career when I had to cry with them having to blow that little stuff in your eyes to make your eyes water, you know, so that you could go. Very hard to turn on the actual water. But you have to show this physical thing with the actual, and produce them on demand, and then cut. One more thing, do it again on demand. And it's not easy, which is why they have the props that help you and the glycerin to make it look as if you're crying. But Barbara never needed. She was wonderful. One of her many, many talents.
Of all the movies Barbara Stanwyck appeared in, Titanic 1953 was the only one to win an Academy Award for Best Screenplay. How many films does she have to date? 108. She's got 108.
Kirk Douglas presents the Best Story Award to the writers of Titanic.
The film received its world premiere at a star-studded event at the United States Naval Station at Norfolk, Virginia on the 11th of April 1953. Among the stars attending were Deborah Paget, Anne Francis, Jeffrey Hunter, and Charles Coburn. According to Motion Picture Daily, one of the highlights of the Navy Relief Ball held that evening was the crowning of Paget and Francis as co-queens of the Atlantic Fleet.
The original name of this film was Nearer, My God, to Thee. The legend that it was the final song sung was accepted as fact in 1953. It has since been proven to be wrong. And this film, as so many others did, used the American version of Nearer, My God, to Thee, the music for the British version, which is certainly what would have been played if it was played. It is generally accepted today that the final song played by the band was Autumn.
Well, that is it for all of the trivia. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget I'll get to the secret phrase in a second, but don't forget if you want to see the full uncut reaction to this or to anything else that I've seen, you can do over on the Patreon page or as a YouTube member as well. If you watched until this very point of the video, thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. And the secret phrase for today, basically the secret phrase means my way of saying thank you to you for watching the video until this very point, and it's your way of saying thank you to me for doing the video, for creating the video and putting it all together. The secret phrase / word is haunting. That is everything for today. Thank you so much. I massively appreciate you being here. And if you would like to, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel, or feel free to hype it as well. That's a new weird thing. It'll keep me up to date with things that you like if you do like it, and also it'll help to push the video and the channel a little bit more by YouTube. Also, don't forget, if you're going to subscribe, don't forget to click the bell button. Don't forget, by the way, I made mention of Maureen O'Hara's two brothers in this, and if you want to see something else that they have starred in, check out The Quiet Man, which is a fantastic film. Feel free to check out Miracle on 34th Street as well. Both reactions are up on the channel already, and there's uncuts. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an incredible day, whatever you're going to be doing. Take care, stay safe, and hopefully I get to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.